Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here in my lab. What I do for you. Oh, guess what? I'm back in the book. I got some lessons to teach you. So yeah, I'm back with Glorious Light of Meditation. That's right. A good story. This is the follow-up on the story of HETHERU, the Punisher. All right, let's go. Right is 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I gave you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I get through, because that's what I do. A person, it's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and always. To Mayat, be true. Speaking of Mayat, this is her sister. How about that? Hetheu. Right thinkers, let's talk about the transformation of Heru. Real simple. Hetheu, the instrument of punishment, a.k.a. death. You didn't want to run into Heru back in them days. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, now, the story goes when Ra left Earth because man was getting on his nerve, ridiculed him, blaspheming him. He took off, went to heaven. You go down there, and anyone that ain't worshiping me, kill them. So the death for sinners, the punishment for death, punishment for sinners was death, all right? And she was that instrument. She tell you, Hetheu had agreed with her father Ra to be the instrument of punishment, okay? Hetheu, who would be the instrument of the punishment, the judgment upon them. All the unrighteous will be dealt with harshly. Hetheu agreed to be the instrument of punishment against who? The evil men and women that were acting what? Unrighteously. If she was alive today, she'd be one busy somebody. Jesus Christ. Okay? But the story goes, anybody who was unrighteous, who blasphemed, talked reckless against Ra, and turned away from his glorious nature, obedience of God, back then was still in order. And those who broke it, paid. Today, they're still paying. Okay? Understand that. Hetheu is Ra's power that he can project for her is actually the serpent. Uraeus Ujat over the sun disk. That was her job once she came back and taking care of business. Another story. All right. But the fire spitting serpent. It just spit venom. It spit fire. Every time I see old movies, the Indians, they love that fire. Ooh, they know what fire. They know how to take care of fire. And a serpent spitting fire was the thing. 6 feet away. Sound familiar? Now, whose venom, a.k.a. was not just venom, but it was the sun rays, meaning it was hot. Okay? And just as the sun rays can burn and scorch the earth, she had the same power in her, and her rays can destroy what? Evil and unrighteousness. That's our enemy. For all of us righteous people, anything that opposes Ra opposes us. We are their enemy. They are our enemies. We fight to protect Ra, righteous people. The power of her radiance and the heat was so hot that it could burn up that which was wrong, iniquitous, evil, unjust, unvirtuous. Here we must remember now that we can say that she destroys evil, but evil should be understood as what we call the unrighteousness that arises out of, you ready, out of our egoistic desires. That's the human nature from us, and it's evil, okay? So that what? Now she can destroy the production of, you ready? Egoism. And egoism itself. So the perpetuation of HETHERU is a serious effort that you got to put in to what? Cleanse your personality so that you can't be what you destroying. Evil. Okay? Thus, when she is called upon, in the form, what? She will turn into what? She must be properly attended and to be respected. Otherwise, here we go, that same power that she used to heal can also lose control and destroy all. Right there, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. If you piss her off, everything is getting taken out. Sound familiar? When a woman leave you, she gonna mess up your financial records. Anything personal, she's going to destroy it. That's their way of saying scorching the earth. And when she leave you, ain't nothing gonna be left. Like when your boy leave the White House, it's gonna be smoldering behind him. But the concept is, yeah, she gonna come and do work. Okay, this is her Sekhmit. When she go from her HETHERU, pretty lady loving, lady, when she go to this mode, destruction. There she go, right there. Okay, and they use the lioness to show how they act, because when they go hunting, they are on point, and that's what they try to get you to understand. When women get together, and if you the project, you the object of their affection, you don't stand a chance. That's what I'm saying. You don't stand a chance. Women over men, they will do plenty of work to us. Don't get walking. No. They got some stuff. You got to recognize and don't misinterpret or misunderstand the women. And these right here, these are what they call them God and goddesses, but they really forces of nature. Shu is what we breathe, which is air, okay? Tefnu is the water that comes from heaven. They go together. Then you got over here, Geb, he represents the earth. Tahuti, he represents God's mind. What we have down here. Then you got right here, the couple, the royal couple right here. Spirit, which is a star. Intuition, immortality, which is Aset. Mortality, when you realize the human part of you, this is not that. The story of them is what the story of your life. We got the best stories, and all of them are pretty much, you can put yourself in them. That's the beauty part of it, and that's what the Bible patterned itself after. Again, I understand it. That's why I do. We got our own book. How about this? Our book is called Coming Forth by Day. Okay? But they called it the Book of the Dead because they found it with the dead bodies. But their whole thing was the book was Bible basic instruction before leaving earth. They already knew that we was leaving here, so they had instructions that they gave to them. Now y'all call it the Bible. Same concept. That's why I understand. I'm not beat for it. If you use it as intended, that's the purpose right there. HETHERU, what? She transformed herself into what? A lioness. She began to kill all who unrighteous people. Well, how would she know who unrighteous from the righteous? The same way you can recognize real, she can recognize the unreal, okay, the unrighteous, so to speak. And for a while, it was okay. But what happened? My thing is, my concept, this is my concept, I throw it in after reading Sunday's story. What happened was, it didn't get so good to her that she went crazy. No, it just got to be the righteous started becoming unrighteous, or the unrighteous started looking like the righteous. So she couldn't distinguish between the two, so she just hit everybody. Like the story about Michael Jordan said he went out one day and they dropped him off at the bar. Michael Jordan, he go out and do his thing. They come out and pick him up. He told my man Greg, he said, yo, Greg, he said, I see 3 baskets. I'm just shooting the one in the middle. That's dealing with being out of your norm. If you get high, if you do drugs, medicine, all of it, anything that changes your thought process, okay, alter your way of thinking, you have to be aware and understand how to deal with that. Another lesson, but that's the thing about drugs, okay? She got drugged, okay? I got drugged. Sorry. Sedation is the way to calm you down to get you back. And this is a perfect example. And this is ancient. This ain't modern. This ain't day. This is ancient. Watch this. Now, what happened? She went to unrighteous. She killed up so much that she began to kill indiscriminately. They say that, but we don't know what made that indiscriminate. Was it the unrighteous trying to do better? Or was it the righteous who just started doing bad and she just said, hell, I'm eating everybody? But they say that what? She left Egypt in search of what? More people. Okay? And the HETHERU wandered, and she would end up where? Stop her. She would kill anyone. She killed everything in sight. Where she went, death followed because she killed them. Now, including, she didn't give a damn about the god or goddesses as well. The word got back to Ra. Said, Ra, she killed them. We got to stop her. She will kill everybody. We got nobody going to worship you, the good or the bad. So he said, all right, shoot, go take care of that. No, I think it was Gab. They came back and said, yo, my man, she's too much for us. We can't dance with her. You might need some more help. He sent Tahuti. All right, let's go. Now, when she left Egypt, the people were devastated. Gloom filled the atmosphere. Everything was in decline. Things were going bad. The forces of darkness, chaos, injustice, that Trump had became president, okay, and unfaithful, unrighteousness, and evil was ruling, was beginning to take control of the land that Hetheu had left, who was the power of Ra, which he used to uphold righteousness and truth. She had left the land. Harris didn't get elected, so we got this guy and all hell breaking loose. Ra, the supreme being, the creator of gods and the entire universe, became sorrowful at the loss of his daughter. Why? She just went rogue. Well, she off the reservation, so to speak. And watch this. His very power, Hetheu, took pleasure in her new form of killing. She killed the evil men and women and then kept on killing what? Everything she could find. She stayed in the woods, she hung out in the forest, and took delight and pleasure in causing what? Pain and death to those who came her way. All right? Now you got to deal with Ra called company guys. That's what I just told you about. Shu, Tafnu, Geb, Tahuti, Asar, Aset, and that's his crew. Okay? He called them together to figure out what they're going to do about his crazy daughter. All right? So he called the company guys, and they asked, who would bring his beautiful daughter back? Everybody looked at each other. Everyone was afraid because as the eye of Ra, HETHERU, she held the power of life and death over all things, even them. They were scared of her. So Ra sent the guy Geb first, right, to bring her back, Geb and Shu, to bring her back. But when they tried to speak to her, she almost killed them and tried to eat Geb. So Geb came back and reported to Ra, look, my man, she's out of control, and even I can't stop her. She's stronger than me, so I couldn't do nothing with her. All right. So now Ra said, what? All right. She living the life of a president now. She's off the reservation. So he came up with an idea. Said she was bloodthirsty, she loved red. He concocted the beer, concoction looked like beer. So Ra called in the big boys, Tahuti, and he asked him, go find my daughter and bring her HETHERU back to me. And Tahuti realized in that mission that he was got to go on that what? He had to accomplish this dangerous task because, I already heard the word what she doing, right? He would need to be clever in order to avoid being eaten and becoming her next meal. So he transformed from what? The ibis-headed bird to the baboon. The wise man, okay? This is where the baboon gets his credit from. Now, Tahuti transformed himself into the form of a harmless baboon. And then he set out to what? Find HETHERU. Now, in order to claim her, because before approaching her, special drink was given to her as a sedative. Again, drugged her up. Mine was, you heard the Thorazine? That would never make the market. That drug will never make the market. It's a prescribed drug. You get up and go, will get up and leave. That's what happened to her. Her get up and go left. She was all drugged out because she was sedated. So that now Tahuti would not become her next victim. Why? Because the drink was to be placed in a location where she could find it, and she did. And since she enjoyed eating people and liked the taste of blood, thought best to provide her with what? This drink that contained blood, but with some extra ingredients. They roofied her. Long time ago, she got roofied. What's this? And in preparation for allow her to what? Decrease her intensity, meaning calm her down, with her wildest desires to find a place to calmness within to recover partially her intellectual capacity to be reasoned with and to regain some self-control. You ever seen a person when they get enraged? Leave them. They not in their right mind. That's why people come with straight jacket and white coats, juice them up, knock them out. Okay, that's they got that from here. Okay, now what's this? So therefore, after she recovered control, the opportunity to reason was more clearly and to listen to the wisdom of Tahuti. So he got her attention because when she woke up, she wasn't bloodthirsty. I'm gonna stop the lesson there because and now he takes her into a bunch of parables. This is what I call the fluff. I don't like the fluff, but it's a bunch of good parables telling stories about the eagle and the fish and the lion and everything. Tell you how a strong person conclude. Okay, I got to it. Let me get to the conclusion. Wrap it up right here. Now, as they entered into Egypt, the goddess was met with the praise from the people. When Tahuti calmed her down, talked her back to coming back home. When she came home to a big celebration, this is it right here. Now, after entering Egypt, the goddess Hetheu was met with the praises from the people who were left over to rejoice in her return. Before entering the city of Waset, thieves Hetheu laid down, rest. She fell asleep under the watchful eye of Tahuti, who looked after her during that time. Now, the enemies of Ra were not pleased with her return back to Egypt, so they plotted against her. What? Now, in the middle of the night, that's the one story I want to tell. It's a little too far for me. But let me wrap it up. Okay, let me get this out. I see a little bit right here. Now, in the middle of the night, the people know that she came back. So they divided the plan. And what happened? The serpent, here you go, who's supposed to be the chaos, to poison her in order to leave Ra defensive. They sent out the serpent to do their dirty work. We had the scarab, okay, but deprived of her protected eye. However, Tahuti, who was always what? Vigilant, always on what? On guard. And what happened? All the time, he noticed the serpent, and he woke up, had to, yo, check this out. They come to get you. And he steal from her form a wildcat and turned back into her original form, and she leaped on the serpent, broke its back, okay, slung it around, beat it down, and now she was grateful to who? Tahuti for what? Saving her life, so to speak, and recalled the wonderful parable of the mouse and the lion. So she knew how everything that Tahuti had said to her now was true. She knew somebody she could trust. She put her faith in somebody. If you're going to be loyal to somebody, if it's the wrong person, you're going to suffer. We got a bad leader, we suffer. Simple as that. That's how it goes. So in life, make sure you make a decision to be loyal to the right person. I sold my soul to the devil. I gave my soul to God. So I'm doing good. I ain't the price. No, I'm giving it. With that guy, I had to do some things that maybe weren't too good. So again, when you give God, all you got to do is what Tahuti tried to teach us, the right thing. My goal is to get all my right things to do the right thing. Why? He'll bless you for that. That's the idea of the game. That's the concept. And when HETHERU became a regular person, everybody was happy again. Within you, that's the part of you got to put under control. Let it out when she need to come out. Let her know that you don't want. I call it the hawk. They call it HETHERU. We all got somebody that's going to make us do things that they might not want us to be doing to them. Bottom line is, it's all self-defense mechanism, and we all have it. It's normal. Just understand how to control it. That's what the lesson about HETHERU, how to control that rage that's within you. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm going to make it quick. In closing, right thinkers, may y'all let it be 100. Me, 100 once a day. So I never know that my right thinkers passed away. Remember, self-control.